presentation of the Town of Swansea.
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Scott. Did you get a chance to go through the minutes?
I did.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve the regular minutes for January 23rd and February 11th.
Second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to approve the non-public meetings for January 26th and February 11th, sessions 1, 2, and 3.
Second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second, Lori, is there anything that's been added since first go through?
No.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Public input.
Excellent. A request from the Preservation Society, could you get the marquee on Town Hall and on Whitcomb Hall to say something about the Candidates' Day, or the Candidates' Day on the 28th? When it gets closer, it's more than a week away, but something closer to that, just get it out here.
Oh, yes.
That's the 28th at 2 o'clock,
28th is the 28th,
Yeah.
Saturday, 28th at 2 o'clock.
and it's right here,
And it's
Whitcomb
right
Hall.
here, yeah. It just meets the Candidates' Day.
Yeah. Also in that vein, the 7th of March, we've got an informational meeting on the town warrants here with the governance committee. That might want to be put up there.
Well, we're gonna compete for town hall on that one, but for here, we can do that. Town hall is gonna compete because we've got, or maybe not, because we got two-sided. Maybe we could do one on each side, because we have the open house for the DPW facility starting at 9 o'clock. So, yeah, if you think that'd be all right, we could do that.
The other thing I want to mention real quick is I sent it to Lori, just sent it to her. I went to the state Attorney General's office and went on their website. There's a voter guide for SB2B traditional town meeting. There's a manual for it. It's 14 pages long. I've got a couple of copies, but I promised out. It's good informational package. I gave it to Ann, she's going to have some printed up.
Great. Welcome. You missed the pledge. Do you want us to do it again?
No,
But you are for public input.
I sort of said it on my way.
Oh, did you? Okay.
So,
Perfect.
I don't have any public input other to see some important people here.
You set the
She might
stage.
be a touch late because she's on a Zoom call right now, so another meeting she's on.
Who's going to take her stead?
Well, I mean, that remembers the video.
Vice Chair.
Captain, you're a chair with a couple of things too, so.
With the video star and the coach.
What's the way it's not? It's not.
What do we have for appointments? What do we have for appointments? What do we have between now and 6?
It's good, yeah.
Okay.
Cheese pizza?
Jay, if you want a piece of pizza.
Oh,
Yes.
look at the
Do you
lights.
have an update? Anything administratively?
I could speak for 30 seconds, but not really. It's been 2 days since our last meeting, so there's not a
Right.
whole lot other than getting the annual report done. That'll be off tomorrow.
What's off tomorrow?
The annual report and the voter's guide just went off to the printers, so we'll be getting that out the week before the vote.
What,
I think that
can we go through, why don't we go through this event checklist? Never mind.
that's just all the consent agenda
No, I know that. I just don't remember seeing this form before.
for the special event permit.
Yeah.
Really? For the hearing, yeah. He opened his pizza place, so he's gonna come back.
Looks like we got nothing until 6 o'clock, so
Light evening.
what's that?
It's a light evening, you don't get many of those.
No,
Same thing with
no,
the planning board, we don't usually have too many light ones these days.
no. No, I have one thing to bring up when Jim gets back that I'd like to discuss with regard to select board rules of procedure.
Okay, great.
But I don't want to do that without Jim here. Richard, how you doing? Kai, we're going to take a recess.
Richard, piece of pizza?
You are watching a Fact TV presentation of the Town of Swansea. You are watching a Fact TV presentation of the town of Swansea.
Do you want to keep going with this?
Make sure you talk into it, too.
All right, Ann? Ann?
Hi, Ann.
It's all set. You may have a seat now if you'd like. Thank you. All right, we're going to reconvene the Selectmen's meeting for today, February 17th. Next item on our agenda is a public hearing. It's official ballot referendum form of government, SB2 rescission. In accordance with RSA 40:14, Chapters 6 and 7, our purpose tonight is to discuss Article 10 on the 2026 town warrant to rescind the official ballot, official ballot referendum known as SB2 town meeting, and return to the official open town meeting form of government. So the public hearing is open. Ann, welcome.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions?
Tell us why you're here.
Okay.
What is this all about, Ann?
Okay. So, Bill founded the Swansea Governance Committee.
The board.
What?
The board.
Board.
Oh, yeah, and can you just pull the mic to you, Ann, so people online can
Is that better?
hear? Thank you. Yeah, just so people online can
Okay.
hear.
You're on live television right now, Ann.
This is so embarrassing.
It's all right. You're going to make a star.
Bill helped us found the Governance Committee last summer, and we started out with, everyone did. We started out with 21 members, oh my God, and then we narrowed it down over the weeks to a really great group of 12 people. And it was a very hardworking group and a very cooperative group, and we discussed all the different formats of town government that we could have in this town. And we kept coming back to the same thing, and that was that in order to promote more community involvement and have people better educated about what the town should have, needs, we should revert back from SB2 and move back to an open town meeting format. Because that is, as Scott kept saying, the purest form of town government that you can have. And if we could tweak it a bit, for example, hold it on a Saturday as opposed to a Tuesday night, we could gather many more people than we had in the past, and we would have the opportunity to explain everything to all of them, so and have an open debate, so we would know what we were voting on and how to vote and how to make educated decisions on what to vote for. Plus, we'd have hopefully a huge group of people there, and if we had it on a Saturday, maybe we could have childcare, maybe we could have different formats for people to be here for a long period of time, but it would give us all an opportunity to spend a lot of time together and better understand what we need to do to communally make the town a better place. Not that it isn't great, but better. Just a couple of facts. Last year, in 2025, we had 2,978 voters who voted on a ballot.
Can you say that number again?
Sure.
2,900 what?
2,978,
Voters.
yep, ballots. We actually have over 5,000 registered voters in the town. And on the questions that we had on the ballot, 1,553 of them did not vote on all of the questions because they didn't know what they were voting for. And it's no one's fault. It's difficult language, as you have all said, to understand. So unless we have a way to better get people to understand, they can't vote on things that are important to all of them and all of us. Yes, we have the deliberative session, but this year we had 79 people, which is the largest number that we've had in years. Last year we had 70, the year before I think it was 60-something. And I think the first deliberative session I came to a few years ago, there was maybe 12 of us. And then the town employees, because there's a lot of you that have to come to that as well, so you have to put that into the number. So we need to find a way to get more people engaged, involved, and knowledgeable in order for us to move forward together. And there are many other things, many other ideas that we have that we would like to implement, but the first thing we need to do is get away from SB2 and move back to town meeting. Gentlemen, any other comments?
And for people that are watching online,
Yes.
would you mind introducing those members of the committee who are here?
Yes. I have several members of my committee here. Scott Self, Lee Dunham, Mike York, who is my co-chair, Jessica Ramsey Sanchez, Dan Leclerc, and Richard Lane.
Thank you, Ann.
Yes, sir.
Could you, for people that are unaware, explain some of the primary differences between what happens at a deliberative session and what actually would happen at town meeting?
Yes, although you know what, Scott, I want you to do that because you're better at it than I am. Is that okay?
It's your committee.
You're the boss. So really, yeah, at the deliberative session, it pretty much does about the same thing as a town meeting does, except that after all the testimony and all the discussion, you don't vote on it. It just goes to the ballot, and then quite a while goes by, several weeks goes by, and then you vote on it, and people who weren't there still vote on it. So yeah, at the town meeting, even if you don't participate in the town meeting, you just there, you can listen to all the testimony and you can hear all the debate about it. You don't have to participate and get up and talk in front of anybody, but you know what's going on. You know exactly what you're voting on and exactly if you want it or if you don't want it. And you vote right then and there. It's much cleaner, much better, and you get a better outcome for the town, rather than people who aren't as informed voting for something for the town that might sound good but might not be too good in discussion. So that's, the main difference there is the voting part of it and when you vote. The rest of it is basically the same. You're still discussing the articles in deliberative session, but you should vote on it right afterwards. It's clear in your mind exactly what's going on. And
Can I ask you a question? What do you feel about one of the main arguments that I hear about this? One of the main arguments I hear about it is we're not going to get enough of people to show up for this. So we're going to make decisions with a very little percentage of our town. We're going to actually vote and make a vote on an answer to something with very little percentage of the town. Because obviously we're not going to get 2,900 people to show up to discuss this. We have less. But what is your answer to that argument? Like, do you have an argument against that?
I don't have an argument against it. I do have, not really an argument, just a statement about it, is that it's not like town meeting is sprung upon us. We know for a whole year that is coming, that, what is it, second Tuesday, is it, in March? Everyone knows that it's coming there. So you can plan for that, you can plan babysitting, you have to get your time off from work, whatever it is. If you want to go, you're going to be able to go. And if you don't want to go, you aren't going to go. But the voting part of it is, it's your duty to do it, and it's your responsibility to do it. And some people don't like to put their hand up when the guy sitting next to them isn't putting their hand up. But that comes the responsibility part. If you're going to vote, you got to be responsible and willing to vote how you want it. And that's some of the drawback of the town meeting. People didn't want to vote in front of other people.
It might be worth Lee giving us a quick synopsis of what happened in the past, because he did a great historical presentation for us one night, just to give people some history or some background. Is that appropriate?
Sure. Jessica?
There is also the option to ask and vote on traditional town meeting.
No. Only in ballot.
Well, I thought so too, but then when I looked up, we shared it on the governance page on Facebook. And it does say in there that there is a provision for absentee voting with traditional town meetings. So if we're still unsure on that, then we need to clarify it. But
For sure.
I thought that it was a no until I saw that paperwork.
It can't be. You just think about how the town meeting is run. You know, you've got warrant articles up there, and they may be amended or changed in any way, and how can you absentee ballot that? You don't know what's coming up. It can't be that way.
You know what's on the ballot, right? Still, you know what's going to be
You know what's on the ballot, you can, because you're voting for zoning ordinances and you're voting for town officers, but on the warrant, it's different. You don't know what's coming on the warrant until after it's been discussed, even the deliberative session for the SB2, same way.
So you could absentee vote on other things, but not on the warrant?
On the ballot you can. Not everything is voted on the ballot. Town officers and zoning amendments.
Okay, so there's probably a
Two different
quasi type of a situation there with the,
No.
because
It's only the ballot and the zoning.
Yep, zoning ordinance.
That's the only thing that you can absentee on.
Because you can't change those.
Right.
that's what I'm saying. So there is an opportunity to vote on some things, but not on others.
Absentee
So
voting.
as far as the numbers that you gave, Ann, I'd be interested to know, like you gave the numbers of the people that voted and the numbers of the people that didn't vote on everything. I wonder if those numbers of the things that people didn't vote on were in fact warrant articles that maybe were not understood. We don't really know why they didn't vote on them, but we can guess if they were warrant articles that maybe they didn't understand. So the difference there would not be that different.
Right.
In as far as people voting on, or people having the opportunity to vote. You see what I'm saying? Because if they could vote absentee on everything else that they already understand anyway, we're not losing any votes by going to traditional town meeting, is what I'm saying, on the warrants. Because if those are the people, if that's what people aren't voting on at the polls anyway, then it's not gonna make that big of a difference for the people who maybe don't come to traditional town meeting, is what I'm saying.
I think I'm following you.
I think you lost me. But getting back to your original question about the absentee ballots, it is absentee ballots for the town officers and for the zoning amendments. but it wouldn't be able to be, and it's not possible for it to be absentee ballots for the warrant, because you can change it. Your ballot would.
Okay, so as far as the deliberative session part, I think a lot of people felt like it went very long the other night. How would that be different if you're actually voting? Because there's still a part where you vote in a booth, correct? With traditional town meeting.
Yeah, that goes all day though, usually from the morning till the evening. Voting is all day, and then town meeting is usually in the evening, like 7 o'clock or something like that.
Voting
Although
in the
you-
booth is all day.
In the booth is all day.
Although you all are suggesting a Saturday.
A Saturday, yeah.
For the town meeting.
For the town meeting part, yeah, we're
Yes.
suggesting splitting them up.
And there are, just to give you an example, Troy has two votes. They have an official vote on March 10th, and then they have their town meeting that Saturday, where they go through the warrant articles.
Okay.
We were considering doing
Jaffrey's the
thing,
same.
just for a
Jeffrey?
change.
I think that might clear it up just a little bit.
So my question was partially answered right there, but was, suppose I'm a voter in Swansea and I want to vote for officers and the zoning amendments, but I don't care to vote for the warrants. Do I come on the same day the warrants are going to be, warrant articles are going to be discussed, or do I come on a different day? And it looks like I could come on a different day to do that, or I could come at a different time on the same day, and I'm just a little uncertain about it.
Election day, such as it is, would be on the Tuesday, and those would be,
That would be the zoning ordinance of the office.
and yes,
Okay.
and then the Saturday would be the warrants.
Would that be the Saturday before that, or the Saturday after?
Before.
Before. Okay?
It could be set up, I think, either way, but it depends. If you have town meeting on the same day you vote, then you've got town meeting on the same day you vote.
Right.
If you have a ballot on one day, then you won't use the ballot, you just go that day.
I'm going to throw, no, I'm going to say, Lee, come give us a quick synopsis of the history, if you don't mind.
I'm going to stay out of the question of whether it's Saturday or whatever. Traditionally, in the town of Swansea, when I first started going to town meeting, it was a Tuesday evening. Now, the polls opened usually at 3:30, 3 o'clock, whatever, and went into the meeting. The meeting started at 7. Stacy Cole, or whoever was moderator at the time, would announce that the polls would be closing at the meeting's beginning, give a time, so that anybody that came in at that point would know to go up and go through the polls and get their vote. That was for election of officers and for your zoning articles, planning board articles, and I believe also the vote to go to SB2 was on the ballot. And that came in by petition. I don't know if it had to, but that's a legal question somebody has to look at. So in those days, if we had a hotly contested issue, like police station, or police going full-time, I think is one of the things that was hotly contested, you might have 300-400 people at town meeting. Ordinarily, I only went back to 2000, so I went 25 years back. And I can give you numbers, and the numbers were not like the supervisors of the checklist didn't check people in that I'm aware of to the meeting. But when you look at the votes, the different votes that were taken, you glean from different things. About 372 is a high, and then from there, before 177 the year before we voted to go into SB2. Now, consider this, one of those years was a snowstorm, I remember, because I drove a snow plow truck there. So, weather had influences on how many people showed up to town meeting. They just did, and they will continue to. So, I guess we talked about the absentee And if that's possible to be done for the ballot, which is election of officers, and articles that are dealing with the zoning amendments and stuff, okay, that can be done. It can't be done for your warrant, because your warrant is going to be discussed, possibly amended at the meeting. So how can somebody vote ahead of time for that? That probably can't happen, but
One of the things, if I may, that we talked about a lot was the social aspect of it. It's a community event. And well, that was one of the things that was really important, right?
in the early days, if you talk to some of the old timers, you get the stories of town meeting happening at town hall. So I believe school meeting was morning. They break for lunch, they all go across the street to Grange Hall will feed them, they go back across, do the town meeting afterwards. That was done for years. That stopped. Town meeting went to the evening time only after Monadnock builds an auditorium that's big enough to hold everybody. So that's
I just want to
62.
take a quick recess, Kai. Can we go off for a minute?
You are watching a Fact TV presentation of the town of Swansea.
I would like to clarify the number of ballots that we had from last year, from 2025, and it was a total of 1,487 ballots, but of those ballots, many of the people did not vote on all the questions because of the language. Thank you.
Thank you, Ann.
Yes, of course.
Jay?
I want to make this point. Suppose discussion, the discussion of the warrant articles happens on the Saturday before the vote. So we get together on that Saturday, we discuss the articles just as we do in the deliberative session right now, and we vote on them right then and there, and then we go vote. That whole process takes 3 days then, because we vote on the officers and the zoning amendments and so on. On the Tuesday, we've already settled the warrants. It just is the same thing in a sense as we have now. We have a deliberative session, and then we wait again to vote on that a month or so later. Now we have a session of deliberation and vote, and then we come to and do our ballots for officers and so on. So the change is, we don't discuss these things and then wait a month to vote on it.
Correct.
We discuss it and vote at the same time, but it's still broken up into discussing the things that could possibly be changed and be voted on, as opposed to the officers and the zoning amendments which can't be changed. So it's the same division of things that we vote on. It just happens more efficiently in some ways. And if we do it on a Saturday, we're likely to get enough people to vote on it. And if it means that instead of 900 people voting on a particular ballot article, we have 600 or 700 voting on that article, but they're the ones who know what's going on, then we win.
It's an educated vote.
It's an educated vote.
The only thing I would question is whether the warrant could occur prior to the election.
Well, if it occurs afterwards, it's the same
It's
deal.
the same thing.
It's the same deal. We have a time when we discuss it, but we vote right there.
Right.
And it's in the same week as we do the other ballot voting.
Yep. Good point.
No,
Jessica?
we don't have to have 2 days of voting, one for the ballot and one in addition. You can do it all on the same day on Saturday, it's the way we used to do it.
Yep.
They would open the polls at 8 o'clock and then close them sometimes before the regular town meeting, or you can actually extend it further if you think you're gonna have more people. And then meanwhile, while that's going on, you have the regular business meeting where you're voting on the warrant articles. So it can be done in one day, it doesn't have to be broken up in 2 days.
No, correct. That was just an example of a community that did that, and I remember walking across the stage to cast my ballot while the discussion's going on in the auditorium about the warrant articles. So you're right.
Yeah.
Jessica?
So I just wanted to clarify that there is the option for the absentee ballot on everything except for the warrant articles. So I just didn't want people to think that they weren't going to be able to vote at all if they didn't show up to the business meeting. That's for the warrant articles only.
It's true. Heather could probably address this, but the state's tightening up the restrictions regarding absentee ballots, which affects us regardless.
As far as showing identification?
In terms of being able to access an absentee ballot. Yeah.
No, absent, or not, like out of state or out of town on the day of election, as far as I know, is still a valid reason.
All I'm trying to say is they're tightening the requirements.
Heather, let's let Heather, can you come up and?
Yeah. I don't want it to be typing, is that meaning like crossing Ts, dotting Is, or are we talking about like restrictions?
So, just the laws have changed this year with absentee voting as far as identification that's required. So people that used to be able to send in an email or just call us on the phone, this is just for town meeting, this is not state or federal. We used to look them up by voter ID and send them out an absentee ballot. And if they were emailing us, we would ask for them to scan their ID. Some people don't have access to that, but that is no longer just a choice, and that town clerks can kind of, yes, I know you, you're in the voter checklist. We do have to get some form of ID. And so, so people, like I have a couple that go to Florida and North Carolina every year. So the difference for them is they can still vote absentee, they just, every election now, are going to have to scan and email their IDs, their driver's license, passport, whichever.
How early can you apply for an absentee ballot?
Up to 6 months prior to the election.
So if somebody's going away for 3 months, they have plenty of time.
To apply. Yeah.
So they don't necessarily have to send their ID through email because it's available.
No, I'm just saying the people that are requesting that now, we have plenty of people that come in and request absentee ballots, but the way that it's done now through the phone or email, it's not the same.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Richard?
Just an observation. What we're proposing has to be voted on, and if it is approved, we will have a full year to disseminate what we would actually like to do. And part of our proposal is to do regional informative sessions with town people or voters. I think that we can do that and tie everything together pretty easily. I know one of the things that came back to me, I was asking some people, would they be in favor of the old style town meeting? And they said, well, I don't really want to be there for 3 hours. Well, my feeling is that same person will go out and stand out in the cold for 3 hours to watch a sporting event and think nothing of it. And if they don't go to the session and learn about what they're spending their money on with the town, to me, that is an apathetic situation. And I think that leads into so many other things that are going on today. So I think that what we're proposing and trying to get the people involved regionally will, in the long run, be a benefit for the town and will increase participation.
Good point. Thank you.
I would just like to note that since SB2 has been enacted in many towns, 3 towns have voted to revert back to town meeting. And there are 5 towns in the state that have tried 4 or 5 times to revert back to town meeting and come very close to doing so. And I believe most of them will try again this year. So this is not an unusual thing that we're asking. This is something that a lot of places in the state have considered, discussed, and would like to go back to.
Great. It's a great sense of community that comes as a result of it.
Well, that, and what Richard was just explaining, that's something that we think would be a very important part of it. Having a meeting in North Swansea, having a meeting in West Swansea, having a meeting wherever it may be, the community house here, or the new fire station, as you suggested once, just on either the warrant, topical things like the water company, had the fire station, something that you need to explain to people, something that we need to have a certain number of people to vote on to pass. It would be much more effective in terms of communication, and it would bring people together that maybe normally wouldn't get together. And we really need that. As you said, in the world, there's a lot of friction, but we don't need to have that. We can just get together and talk and work it out. It's really important.
How many on the board were for it out of the 12?
I'm sorry?
Is the whole 12, everybody for it on the committee?
Yeah.
All 12?
Yep.
The ones that weren't for it decided not to
Stay?
stay on the committee.
I guess.
Is that really what happened? So out of the 20 we started with, you
Well,
ended up...
some just couldn't
Yeah,
make
some
it.
just couldn't do it, but a few of them maybe, we'll say, maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think you're probably right on that. Yeah. But, and we talked this out at length, and we took the vote over and over again several times, just to make sure that we were on the same page. I think that got tiresome, but I just wanted to make sure that we all understood what we were asking for, and we all agreed. And we are, just for the record again, different political persuasions, and that never even came up. That never came up. And I think that's really important to drive home, that we all felt that this was the way that we could have more communication in our town.
Great concept. I agree.
Can I mention one more
Jess?
thing? What I did in my research, which was one of my basic goals to do some research, the New Hampshire Town Meeting Voters Guide of what we're talking about. So people can go onto the Attorney General's website and get it. It's 14 pages. It explains everything SB2B, the traditional town meeting, all the ins and outs of it. So if people want to educate themselves, they just go get this. If they want to contact me, I can give them the addresses to get this.
And Jessica posted it as well.
I posted a couple of times on
Yeah.
media. And I gave one to Lori.
In case you get bored tonight.
Well, she might have to administrate this, so
Jessica?
it's your job.
I just wanted to say that there was a lot of discussion, and we did consider, different pushback that we might get. We did consider the pros and cons of it, and it just seemed like every time we discussed it, it came back to there were more pros if we could make this work. And we know it has to pass by, 3/5 anyway, so the way we looked at it is if it passes, we're gonna find a way to make it work well for everyone. If it doesn't pass, we're gonna still find a way to help everyone know more about what they're voting on.
We definitely
Because
have,
that's our ultimate goal.
Right.
That's the whole point of this.
perfectly said, we do have some more tricks up our sleeves. Lori and I have talked about them, and Mark knows what we're doing. So we have some other ideas that will help if we don't get this, that we think are definitely worthy of consideration and fairly easy to implement. So videos, discussions. I mean, there's a lot that we can do if we don't get this, but this would be the ideal thing.
We will.
We will.
We will.
More questions? So, and again, I'd just like to stress, amazing committee, amazing.
How are we getting this out there before the vote?
Well,
We're gonna have some of these on the 7th of November.
yeah, and we can talk about it. I think you all know, we are going to do I think Eileen will let us have a little time to talk about it at the candidates event. And by the way, she's done an amazing job, with really positive changes. And we are also, a few of us are going to have I can't think of the name we thought of for it, but on the following Saturday, an open session here for people to learn about the warrant articles, if they can't. And just an open session where anyone can ask any questions. Maybe they couldn't make it to deliberative session, so we can talk about it there too, but we're doing what we can on Facebook. I mean, we've already done the Danny Mitchell show, so, I mean, people know about it, but we just have to keep talking about it.
Well, you were on the radio today, not personally, but the news for tonight's public hearing.
Oh, was it in the paper?
I don't know about that, but the
Big
radio.
picture in your front page.
Oh, I couldn't get the article, I've already used up all
You're
my
on the front
files.
page, Ann.
Okay.
I'm telling you, you're gonna be famous over this.
Top of fold.
I want your autograph.
Anything else?
Anybody else?
We're open to feedback. I mean, we have the Facebook page for a reason. People can get on there and ask questions. Anne has put her information out many times to contact her if people have questions.
Are we getting any now? Have you had any situations like that you've had to talk to people or anything like that? Have you got any?
I had really good discussions with people at the Halloween thing in town.
You did?
Yep. And that was a younger crowd, so that was really important, because those are a lot of the people that we want to get to.
I had a few people come in the restaurant and asked about it.
Have you?
Yeah. So that's good.
Yeah.
Maybe the bus will get out there and,
You know, it might start small. It might be something that we just have to keep working on a little more.
I think it's gonna come up at the candidates night. I think that's one of the questions all the candidates are gonna have to be prepared to answer. How do we feel about it? What do we like about it?
Honestly, I think
that's
most
a
of
good,
them,
I never thought of it. That night, a lot could come up.
It's gonna be fair game. So,
I think
That's a
most
good
of them will
question.
respond with that it's a good idea. I think there's one that won't, but we know that. But I think most of the candidates would be on board with it.
Yeah, that's good. We can ask questions to him. I'm gonna drill him when he's
well,
up there.
sure, and that's an opportunity to get the idea out there, whether people like what they hear or not, that it's an idea.
Right.
The idea will be discussed, I can guarantee.
That's the 28th, right?
2 o'clock.
Right here.
Right here.
2 to
Goes
5.
You better be ready to
Goes
answer
to
some
8.
questions, pal.
Goes till 8.
We should make sure we get time.
You better be ready.
You won't even be able to talk yet.
Good point. Anybody else? Well, our feedback, as you know, is very positive. We've been supportive of the concept right from the inception, so.
We appreciate that.
We're very much supportive of town meeting and the opportunity to bring people together.
Right. Yeah.
I'd love to see the keyboard warriors come out and have an opportunity to truly participate and have an impact.
Wouldn't that be
Suggest it,
amazing?
Yeah, it would be terrific.
Yeah.
So it's non-judgmental, it's a fun event. I miss it.
Yeah.
I miss it a lot.
And there's people that you don't see anywhere else that you would see there. I mean, it really does have a strong social aspect to it, so.
It really is the antithesis of what social media has done to our society. People meeting face to face, having real conversations, not just getting online, on social media and saying whatever, because there's that barrier and that buffer between you and someone you may know or may not know. But then to be able to say something in the presence of that other person, or to that other person, face to face, I think is much more productive.
Absolutely.
And I think in the end, more level-headed a lot of times.
Yeah. Of course you can help.
Danny, are you still up in the air about it?
Am I up in the air?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
I'm all about town meeting.
Oh, good.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, everybody was talking about this threat to democracy. And if this passes, Swansea has solved the threat to democracy because town meeting is the purest form of democracy there is.
You can be our poster boy.
Once again, if people see this as a way of having a deliberative session with real consequences, some people don't come to the deliberative session because we're gonna vote later on anyway, that's why they don't come. This is one where there's real consequences. We deliberate and we vote, and that's what we deliberate on, those warrant articles. The other vote happens anyway, just as it always has. I think separating them out like that and talking about this is a discussion with real consequences because you're gonna vote right after the discussion makes it much better than the deliberative session. That's one way I would try to finish this.
Save that for the 28th.
In the original deliberative session, there was some real impact when the entire warrant article could be removed by putting the words "to say" in front. So literally, you had power at the deliberative session, but now there is none, thankfully. Great job, guys. This is exciting. Kudos to you. You did great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, of course.
Anybody have anything else? Kai, you ready?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?